All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for braving the rain to be here in person. It's probably still raining really hard, I assume. Okay, great. I appreciate seeing so many people here. So this is going to be our first workshop of the semester. This is not the traditional workshop format. This is a lot more informational than we hope that most will be. So I encourage you guys to come back in the future for more technical events. But I'm really glad to see all of you guys are here. How many of you guys here are actively planning to go to Shell Hacks tomorrow? Okay, about half of you. I was expecting a little bit more, but I'm glad that everyone is still interested in coming, even if you're not going. All right, so with that being said, I want to start with a couple of announcements really quick while everyone is filling in the sign-in form to the treat. We had a projects interest meeting yesterday that many of you probably were able to get to, some of you were not. If you are still interested in joining the projects program, the deadline to apply, wait, I forgot to turn off the music. All right. It took me way too long to figure that out. All right, so the deadline to sign up for that is going to be Monday. The slides are available on the link tree. We do not have a recording. There was an unfortunate recording accident, but you can still go through all the slides, get all the same information. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to our projects directors, Tim and Stanley. All right, and the other thing that you can still sign up for is mentorship. There were deadlines that were sent out on Discord just today. Off the top of my head, I do not remember what they are, but they are next week, if I remember correctly. If you're interested in participating as a mentor, we always need more mentors. If you're interested in being a mentee, we'd be so happy to have you. You can find both of these forms on the link tree or the QR code here. All right. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into things. So the way this is going to be structured, I should put a summary slide in here, is we're going to break this down in 3 pieces. So the first one is going to be mostly informational about what is a hackathon in general, what you should expect if you're going to your first one. Show of hands, who's going to their first hackathon? Okay, a pretty good amount of people. So that's really exciting. So we're going to talk about what to expect going in, and then we'll talk about Shell Hacks specifically, what's changing for an in-person event, which I don't think anyone in this room has been to an in-person hackathon before, myself included. And then we'll talk about just some general ideas of how to not be miserable during the whole thing, and finish out with some team building at the end. And if you're not interested in going to Shell Hacks, then you certainly don't have to stick around for the team building, and we'll get going from there. Okay. So starting with a general overview here, the concept of a hackathon is that it's going to be a 3-day event over the course of the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It always starts on Friday night and it always ends on Sunday afternoon. So there will be a lot of technical events throughout, a lot of social events as well. It is not just straight programming. You can go to any workshops that you're interested in. You can go and do any mini social events just to take a breather. There will be lots and lots of things to be mixed into all of the teamwork. There's an opening and a closing ceremony. So your opening ceremony is going to be all of the organizers telling you about what to expect during the event, probably introducing a bunch of sponsors as well. There will be a lot of people talking that you probably don't care about. And the closing ceremonies at the end are a little bit less talking and usually involve giving out prizes. All right, the main thing about why there would be sponsors at Hackathon is that you have lots and lots of opportunities to talk to all of the representatives from different sponsoring companies. They are there specifically to talk to you about all their opportunities that they have, to collect resumes, to encourage you to apply for things. If you have any sponsors that you're really interested in, I would of course encourage you to go and seek out when you can go talk to them. Usually there will be a career fair, or maybe they'll be setting up some tabling. You can do one or the other or both. There are also lots of mentors. So the whole point of a hackathon is to do something that is a stretch for what you can do right now. If you're not learning something, then you're probably doing it wrong. And with learning comes a lot of floundering and not really being sure where to go from there. So mentors are there. Those would be alumni from companies, people that have graduated, people that have a lot of experience in particular fields. You can always go and find people to ask questions. And we'll have lots of food throughout. There are 3 meals per day at Shell Hacks, which is very exciting. Okay. No. So food is going to be provided. We'll check in on that. There's a Q&A section of some questions that I sent to some of the organizers, and we'll look over there as well. And to break this down even further, we can start by individual days. So Friday is always the first day that we're getting there. For those of you who are going to Shell Hacks, the event will start around 7 p.m. on Friday night. The 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. window is always for check-in. So lots and lots of time to arrive. Our bus is scheduled to arrive right around 4 p.m. So we will check in with whoever is available there. There will be dinner provided before the opening ceremony according to the schedule. And then we'll have the opening ceremony, which should be in the main conference hall. So we are headed to an actual conference hall on FIU campus. If you are attending virtually, the opening ceremony will also be available on a virtual platform. I don't know offhand what they're using. I would guess that it's probably Hopin, but if you're attending virtually, you should have those instructions near you. There's always a career fair on Friday night, so this is the best time to talk to any specific sponsors. This is the dedicated time where you're not doing anything else. They encourage you to go to all of this. During career fair, you can also do some team building. So if you don't have a team yet, there will be an event so you can find people and connect with people that are interested in the same things as you. Or if you already have a team, you can start planning what you're going to do before the hacking period starts. Hacking period starts will be late on Friday nights, and at that point you are ready to commence on your project. And there are also lots of workshops that run throughout, but they usually start on Friday night once the hacking period starts. So the general rule of thumb is that the easier workshops start first so that you can build a basis for something that you want to use for your project. Okay, and now Saturday. Saturday is a lot of the same, so you will have a lot of team progress.
What are the sizes typically for teams?
So that will probably depend on the event, but from what I know, usually it's 4 people maximum or about that. There will probably be a specific rule, and they will probably mention that opening ceremony. That's what we did last year for our hackathon. So you'll probably have a lot of progress really early in the wee hours of the morning on Saturday before everyone gets really tired and goes to sleep for a little while. The sleeping range from the hackathons that I've been to is usually, like 3 to 8 p.m. So waking up reasonably early so you can get back to work, but Saturday morning is a great time to do that, just to catch up. And there's lots and lots of events going on Saturday. Saturday is primarily for workshops and for social events. So there will be things running all day. Again, you can pick and choose which ones you want to go to. And then the rest of Saturday, you're just working on your project. So this is the main 24-hour section where you should be getting most of your work done. Obviously, it's not all going to get done on Saturdays, and some of it will spill into Sunday, but as much as you can finish on Saturday, the better. And there will be lots of meals as well. Okay, and then to break down what happens on Sunday, everyone is going to be crunching their project immensely all the way through the early mornings of Sunday. If you're already finished, you're content, then of course you can go to sleep if you want to. But the hacking period usually ends around 10 a.m. or so on Sunday. There's a specific deadline. I want to say it's 10 a.m. for shell hacks. I looked at it this morning, but it might be 11. But the hacking period ending, say it again?
Pretty sure it's 11 p.m. is when it starts, and then it ends at 11 a.m. on Sunday.
Okay, that sounds about right to me. Usually it's 36 hours that will be the actual hacking period. So once the hacking period ends, there's always a little bit of a buffer for creating your submission. So all of your projects will need to be submitted online, probably to DevPost. And I know there's a physical expo at Shell Hacks this year. I'm not sure exactly what we'll have to do for that, but the instructions will all be laid out once we get there. And then the project expo and the judging period is going to be a very long 4-hour block from 1 to 5 p.m. I'm hoping that we do not have to present for 4 hours. I think that no one will really be in the mood for that. But we'll see. We'll have more information at the opening ceremony. And following that, we'll have a closing ceremony and prizes will be distributed. Is that a question or are you just scratching your head?
Oh, I got it.
Okay, no worries. All right. So with that being said, there is a schedule available. I'm assuming that most of you have already gone around to Shell Hacks if you're planning on going. But you can go to the dashboard, into your hacker guide, and all of the details about what's going on will be in there. So in-person changes. Most of us have not been to an in-person hackathon before. Just show of hands, has anyone for any reason been to an in-person hackathon? Okay, that surprises me. Like recently or like pre-COVID?
No, post-COVID.
Okay.
Hackathon was post-COVID.
When was that, over the summer?
Fall.
No.
Or
Spring, right?
Last spring.
Yeah. It was like
And they did it in
like,
person?
it was like late spring. Maybe like I don't think it was even mixed.
It was not mixed. It was all in person, and it was like with insanity in mind.
Yes.
And we had to present the full 4-hour block.
Awesome. All right. Well, looking forward to very long project expos then. But for those of you who have not been to an in-person hackathon, myself included, you will not have to make all of your own food. Food is provided, as far as I am aware. You will not be sleeping in your own bed. So when you sleep from the wee hours of the morning and Saturday, usually a couple of hours, we're just going to have to find somewhere quiet. So you should absolutely bring some things that you can sleep on. A pillow is encouraged, a sleeping bag if you have one. I have no idea what the sleeping arrangements are going to be. We'll figure it out.
People used to take sleeping bags and sit in chairs.
I mean, that works. So yeah, all right. Good suggestion right there. The other thing is that you will be very, very close proximity to your team. So if you start to get really mad at your team, you can't just jump off a Discord call and not talk to them for a couple hours and decompress. You're literally going to be right next to them, which means we're going to have to be, as individuals, a lot better to our teammates than maybe we have in the past. And also you'll have sponsor interaction. So it won't be, I'm going to go join a Zoom call and talk to someone. You're literally going to be in front of them. So you definitely need to put your best foot forward. Probably bring some resumes with you if you're interested in giving them out. And definitely plan in advance where you want to go. I would expect that they're not going to have you like dress up for anything. It's going to be a long weekend. We're all going to be sweaty and disgusting by the end. So I would definitely just be presentable, and that's probably good enough. All right. There is a project expo. So for a lot of virtual hackathons, you'll submit your projects, you'll create a page and lots of text about how it works, create a demo video, and then the judging period goes for like 2 or 3 hours and you can sleep through that and then come back for the closing ceremony. That's not going to be the case here. So you're going to have to demo your project for a very long time. So it might be worthwhile to sleep a little bit on Sunday before the expo to make sure you're ready. Make sure you have some coffee or something to get you through that. I expect that that will probably be the most difficult 4 hours of the entire weekend to get through.
Any advice to just shifts, just rotating shifts on who presents.
That's a good idea.
Because then someone can take a nap while the other person is presenting, and then you're all kind of following, not really.
All right. And hopefully the other thing that's going to be really exciting is that there's going to be an actual atmosphere, and it's not just me alone in my room working on some code. I think it's going to be super exciting. I'm really excited to be there. I think it's going to be so much fun. And so definitely take advantage of that, talk to lots of people. And with that, some general packing suggestions. All of this is available on the Hacker Guide as well. This is not something that you shouldn't have seen before, but you're going to have to bring all of your electronics, all of your chargers. So the Hacker Guide, if you go to shellhacks.net and then log in with the account that you created to register, there should be a dashboard button in the top right. Actually, we can just demo this really quick. That's a good point. So if we go to Shell Hacks here, and then if I log in, all right, never mind. So this will be replaced with the dashboard button, and then on the left side, there'll be a confirm status and then also a Hacker Guide. And the Hacker Guide is where a lot of this information will come from. And you should definitely review that before you get there tomorrow. All right, so bring your laptop, bring your phone, bring all of the chargers that you need for the whole weekend, bring something to sleep on so that you don't have to sleep awkwardly on the floor. Bring changes of clothes, bring swim attire. Lots and lots of people have already reached out to me to let me know that there are beaches like literally right next to the conference center. So you won't have to go very far. That would be a great decompressing activity. So definitely bring some swim attire. Probably bring your own snacks. The meals are far between, and I imagine that if you're up the whole time, you're probably going to get hungry before that.
How many bags are we allowed to bring on the bus?
I have no idea. Pack as small as you can. I would assume there will be places to put things, like you won't have to put them between your feet. Probably there's overhead space or maybe under the bus, depending on what the bus is, but please don't bring like a giant suitcase or multiple giant suitcases. All right, so bring your own snacks. Definitely bring some personal hygiene. I have been in contact about a showering situation, and it is still unclear as to whether we non-FIU students are going to have access to showers. So if you're planning on like renting a hotel room so you can go shower, then that's one thing. But otherwise, bring some deodorant, and just do your best. All right. So packing suggestions out of the way. Okay. So this is the part that I was just recently informed is a little bit not correct. This slide is correct. So the bus originally was planning to come to the UCF Super Center tomorrow, which is between garages I and A, right next to the education complex. It's a loop where buses come in, and only buses. But that is no longer the case due to some UCF rule. I didn't get the full details. They're no longer allowed to park the bus there. So the bus is going to come to the public shopping center. And that means that you're going to have to get over there somehow. I'm assuming that we cannot park in Publix overnight unless you want to get towed. So probably don't try that. But the bus leaves at 11:30. So give yourself lots and lots of time to get over there. You may have to walk. You may have to get a friend to take you. Figure it out. I think that parking overnight is no.
It depends on like what.
No, all the garages are not allowed to park overnight, like at midnight, if this person, or they tow your car.
Okay. So
The only exception to that, I believe, Libra, because that's what Libra uses.
all right, well, that doesn't help us.
Um,
All right, so my suggestions would be either if you have a friend that could drop you off, that would be ideal, or take the shuttle to campus if you live close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is overnight parking actually, because like if you buy like if you bought a visitor pass anyway, you can pay for overnight parking. I don't know how it is for off campus. Like, maybe not for Roger.
This whole lot is next to the garage. We should do that. What, like the garage itself? I think
Even if you buy like an overnight pass, is that an option? I guess the parking.
I think the thing is rather
According to 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago, Reddit says that there is no overnight parking, but weekends it might be less. No. Okay.
Yeah, if you live on campus and park in a car, it's unlikely that you will get towed. Well, obviously.
No, you can't. Yeah,
But if you're off campus, I would say it's up on the shuttle to the night circle, to the night circle bus, to the. It's the second to last. Yeah, it's right next to the Facebook clubhouse. And then you just walk out of the.
Do you know what number the bus route is? Number one.
It's number one next to Student Union. If you pull up a double map, you'll see it. It's really. Yeah.
Walmart has overnight parking, right?
No. I don't know.
I mean, if you're really good at riding your car, you could do it, but.
Hey, Hackathon project.
I mean, the really easy solution would probably be just taking like a lift.
I was taking a lift.
No, it's your-
Well, if you leave your car, like, because there's the student government pass, the little student government coupon.
Oh, that's true.
So like, as long as it's like somewhere in the radius of UCF, you could probably use the student government coupon and go from like wherever you are to Publix.
Oh, you can see the route from right there. You see the CVS on the map right on the side. So like where you see that little marker where it says night circle specifically, that's the actual spot it would drop you off. You would just walk from there to Publix.
Okay, that seems to me like the most reasonable option.
Yeah.
Getting onto campus for those of you who live far away is going to be a little bit more difficult. So good luck in advance. But for those of you who are nearby, definitely you could take the shuttle onto campus and then take the other one, which is not this route here, but it would start next to the student union. So somewhere in here that we can't see.
Not the not starting.
No, I should take this out.
Yeah, route one, which is right by the student. So like,
I know. Yeah, right next to
yeah, when you walk up behind, you see like a weird like semicircle. With,
right.
Like Milk Mall, what? Milk Mall also probably has the next circle.
No, it's literally just the one behind the student.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they usually only go to one space, or at least that's how mine is.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely you can make a plan there. If you need to carpool, that's another thing that you could do in like the Shell Hacks channel. If you are really have some issues or if you're a commuter, that might be something worth working out, but definitely do that tonight. And once you get there, I will be working with the bus to coordinate everyone who's there. I am asking that everyone just show me your virtual ticket just to prove that you are who you say you are, and then give me your name, and then we'll check you off. I will have a roster at that point, hopefully, and then we'll make sure that everyone's there. And on the way back, the same thing. We'll figure out where the bus is. I'll ping all of you guys on Sunday, and then we can check everyone in and make sure we have them. Okay. So if you have a Night Hack shirt or a UCF shirt, I would highly encourage you guys to wear it. There will be lots and lots of picture taking. We encourage all of you guys to take lots and lots of pictures, send them to our social media team. If you don't have the ops role, you can add it to yourself, and then there's a social media channel. Any pictures you have, they want. So please take lots of pictures. We'll probably take some group pictures once we get there. So definitely if you have a shirt, do it. Show of hands here. Did anyone pay for membership last year but didn't pick up their club shirts? Couple people. Okay, if you want to pick up your club shirt, they're all in my car, so you just have to come. I know it sounds a little strange. But then it was raining like crazy, and I figured bringing a bunch of boxes in the rain was probably not a good idea. It is in my car. If you do want it, I'd be happy to bring it, or you can just give me your size and I'll bring it tomorrow. Since it's just 3 of you, I think that'll probably be easier. Okay. Then let's talk afterwards. Okay. No, so the way we do club shirts is that we have people pay in the fall, and then we also let people pay in the spring, and then we order them shortly after the spring semester starts. That way everyone through the whole year, we don't have to send another order halfway through. Okay, so I have also a couple of questions that I asked to Shell Hacks directly, which I got answered today. And some of these answers are not really super helpful. Don't tell them I said that. But we'll go through these anyway, just to see if there's any other questions you have that might get answered in here. So where we are going is there is a conference center, the Cobins Conference Center at the Bay campus. And this conference center overlooks the beach / the bay. So there will be lots and lots of opportunity to go to the beach. In terms of spaces to work, once we get there, there will be spaces reserved for just hacking. And also you'll just have lots of other spaces across campus.
Did they have anything for if you are virtual people, your person, a group that's in person, like someone person, someone virtual, is that okay, or is it specifically like?
I have.
Does that has to be one of them? You have to control because virtual is dev post, and then in person you have to present because it does it on a hacker.
And there are prizes for both, which I assume means they're keeping them separate.
You can't double dip.
All right. So will be spaces available for working. The sleeping space is there will be a quiet room. I do not know what this quiet room is, so we'll figure it out.
Oh, bring earplugs if you're a light sleeper. Bring earplugs or bring noise deadening headphones because if you don't, you're not sleeping.
Yes, there's also a recommendation for like an eye mask if you need something like that to block out the light. That would also be something to bring. And I think all of those are listed on the hacker guide as well.
Yeah.
All right, food available. All meals will be completely covered by catering, so you do not have to purchase your own food, but you should definitely still bring some snacks. Team building events will be on Friday nights, and it will be for in-person and another for virtual. If you're virtual and you haven't joined the Discord, you absolutely should do that. I think that's where this will take place. In order to connect with a mentor, there will be mentors at the venue. We don't know where they're going to be, so I assume that will be part of the opening ceremony. For networking with sponsors, the main sponsor fair is going to be Friday night, so that'll be probably right after the opening ceremony, and they'll talk about it during then. And there will also be a virtual sponsor fair for all participants, so that could be people that are in person or people who are virtual on Saturday. Okay, you can attend opening ceremony both in person or virtually, so if our bus gets delayed for whatever reason, we can still attend. And then loading the bus, this was a question for me personally, but I'll have a roster. I need to follow up with someone tonight because she said she was going to send it to me and then she didn't. And there will be lots of non-technical events throughout, activities and sponsor info. So definitely go to those. It's a great opportunity to decompress. And for things to do, if you're going to Miami for the first time, the only recommendation is the beach, which I think is not I mean, most of us were going to go to the beach anyway. So definitely walk around a little bit if you want to. You're not constrained to the FIU campus in any way. So take advantage of the fact that you're in Miami, which is a pretty cool place, and you're probably not going to go there too often. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to jump back into things here. So that is the end of the directly informational section. So the rest of this is really just some general advice for those of you who are going for the first time in particular, to not be miserable through the whole thing. And if you have any advice to add on to any of these slides, please jump right in. This is a pretty collaborative session. So the main things in order to make sure that your team is not the worst experience you've ever had is that you need to be supportive of each other. So if you're going to just throw someone onto a particular task and they have no idea how to do it and they're running into issues and then you just don't help them with anything, then you're going to have one really unhappy teammate and probably something that doesn't end up getting finished. So any way that you can support each other technically, or do some pair programming for a little while, whatever people need in order to be comfortable, I would highly encourage you to work with. Again, working in pairs as needed is definitely a good thing. If you're on a team with someone that's a lot more inexperienced and maybe doesn't know where to get started, doing some pair programming, so working on one computer, talking through what you're doing can be a great way to get people up to speed a little bit. Definitely you want to talk amongst your group about how you're going to work effectively. So what tools you're going to use, any kind of strategies to stay on top of things. And please, please, please just be pleasant. That's the most important thing. Okay, so again, don't throw your teammate into the deep end. I know from personal anecdotes, I went to a hackathon last year and I had a couple of teammates that were relatively inexperienced, and we did not do a good job of recognizing that in advance. And so 2 of them ended up not contributing and 1 of them left before the front end was even finished. So definitely if someone's feeling uncomfortable, any way that you can support them is incredibly encouraged and will help you actually get through. And also you're going to get burnt out, maybe halfway through Saturday, maybe Sunday morning. So you definitely need to make sure that you're taking lots of breaks, getting sleep, and also just attend some events. You're not going to not finish a project because you took an hour of your day to go to a workshop you really want to. Or
also helps solve problems.
Absolutely.
You keep staring at the same problem, you're not going to solve it.
Absolutely.
Last hackathon, we literally walked to Publix, grabbed sandwiches, and came back. It was like an hour and a half, and we solved the problem instantly. If we sat there, there's no way we would solve it.
Absolutely. Take advantage of the fact that you're in Miami, do some cool stuff, go to lots of events. Be patient. Again, sometimes things are not going to go your way. Maybe things don't get finished on time. You needed them to be finished earlier so you can start using them. You're going to have to be flexible. So make sure that when things don't go right, you're being pleasant, and also just have fun. This is a weekend. There's no, you can win some prizes for it, but it's not going to detriment your life if it doesn't go well.
And anyone decides to not, anyone decides to switch the events, technically not wonder where the hell you are in this last minute.
Yes, that is very important, especially in an in-person hackathon where people are probably going to be walking around a lot. If you leave and then just never come back, you're going to leave a lot of your group hanging. Yes.
Because sponsors will walk up to you, other teams will walk up to you, oh, hey, we're working on school, we're kind of just taking a break. So just kind of definitely kind of letting everyone know. I know with us, we made a group chat when we got there. It's big, especially when it's an entire convention center. So.
Very good. I would encourage everyone to make a Discord server or a group me if you can stand group me. Just anything to be communicative. Okay, tools for team success. If you are relatively inexperienced, I would highly encourage you to not just send a bunch of zip files to each other. This is a great opportunity to learn how to use Git effectively. If you don't know how to do it, you can always ask people for help. I'm not a master or anything, but Stack Overflow usually fills in all the gaps. Definitely lay out the weekend in advance. So if you are working on a team, it'd be a good idea to kind of split things into chunks, figure out when am I going to work on this? What's the general timeline for how things are going to come together? Obviously, that's going to change, but having an idea in advance so that you're not constantly trying to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do next, will help you be really productive. I would set yourself daily and hourly goals. So when you check back in as a team, hopefully we have this thing finished. If we don't, then why do we not have it finished? And also just use your human and internet resources. Mentors are there specifically to answer your questions. You're not bothering them by going to ask, but Also, they're probably going to be really busy, so you might have to wait in a line. So if you can find something on Stack Overflow or somewhere online, certainly do so. And also, you should definitely check in as a group pretty often just to make sure that everyone's on the same page, nothing's going wrong. You know, any way that you can support each other morally or technically, you know, as soon as possible. Okay, and then for individual success, I would highly encourage you to write yourself notes or lots of comments in your code, just so you like, by the end of like Sunday, you're going to be so out of it that you're going to forget things very quickly unless you write them down.
Remember, you have to explain kind of what you did. So
Also
the
true.
more documentation you give yourself, the better. Because you're really not good.
Yes, Sunday afternoon is going to be a very interesting experience. Again, use the internet, find mentors whenever you come across a problem. Again, if you're spending too much time on the same problem, you're probably not using your time effectively. So certainly see if you can figure it out yourself, if the internet can help you. But if you have a problem, that's what mentors are for. So you can definitely bring it to them. Lend your knowledge when you can. So everyone has their own experiences coming in. Maybe I know that I'm really good at JavaScript, but I want to try something else this hackathon. So someone else on my team is doing the JavaScript stuff. If they're running into an issue, then you can absolutely, you know, pop over for a couple minutes and try and solve their problem for them. People come from a lot of different backgrounds, and so definitely use that to your advantage. Take personal time. Again, I keep saying this because it's really important. It's going to be, you're going to get burnt out. So explore around, look around the campus, look around Miami, do some cool stuff, take lots of pictures. And then also just make sure you're getting something out of the event. If you're working on something that's really boring and you hate it, and in the end, it's not going to be useful to you in any way because you already knew how to do it originally, then maybe swap up your plan, work on something else, kind of modify what your original goal was. If you know, this is the perfect opportunity just in an isolated environment to learn something new, make sure you're getting something from the event. Okay, so if there are any questions about hackathons or about shell hacks that are still outstanding, this is the time to ask.
So I'm not going to shell hacks, but I assume it's the same for every hackathon. Are hackathons kind of like game jams where they give you a theme that you have to work on?
So this is a good question. So there are some hackathons that are specifically themed. I know I went to one that was sort of like retro themed, which is not uncommon. There's a lot of, I think Hack GT coming up is also retro themed. But usually the main thing is that all the like the sponsors that come will give you a category that you can submit a project to and win a prize for that category. So maybe a crypto sponsor will have a category for something crypto related. And then you can make your project related to that thing, submit it to win that prize. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That's usually where themes come.
Is there going to be a space for just
I highly doubt that there will be a space just for night hacks. I think we'll stick together originally, take some pictures, make sure everyone gets checked in, probably hang out in the opening ceremony. But after that, it's up to you guys. I would guess not. I do not know for certain. We can certainly ask when we get there.
Not lockers to lock things up, because it's just not enough.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Another reason why you should not bring 3 suitcases, because you will have to drag them with you the whole time. So pack in an amount that you can carry.
Outlet situation, because we're not allowed to bring surge protectors or extensions.
I have no idea. We'll find out. Bring all of the chargers you need. I'm assuming that there will be enough outlets available that everyone will be fine. Otherwise, they would probably tell us to bring something else. Bring all of your chargers. That's what the hacker packet said. That's all we can really do. Anything else?
What's the extension you're not allowed? What does it say surge protector?
Extension cords?
It says extension cables will not be allowed. It doesn't say anything on surge.
Okay. You can bring them anyway, and if they tell us no, then sucks to be us.
If we theoretically didn't sign up for the bus in time, is it still possible to sign up?
At this point, I think the bus is probably too late. You can still sign up virtually, or if you have some other way to get down there, that's fine. But I think at this point, it's probably too late.
I was going to say, I saw their Discord themselves, like see saying there are still UCS slots open for the bus, but I think like physically or has said. Yeah, if you're not, you can message and see if you can.
Yeah.
Yes, I would definitely do that just to check.
How often are there hackathons?
Hackathons happen literally every weekend.
Okay.
There's multiple per weekend
I
usually.
would say that in-person hackathons are a bit more sparse, but like, if you go to MLH, there's literally a hackathon like every day.
So MLH.io, Major League Hacking is the organization that sponsors and has guidelines for all of the things going on. So just this weekend, there's another one happening in Maryland. There's usually lots and you can, if you're looking for one that's in person only, digital only, or both, you can also find that in here.
Oh, yeah.
If you go the previous week, then that's considered cheating. Really.
Interesting.
I have to actual access.
Definitely check out MedHacks then and consider registering if it's not already closed so that you can win lots of prizes. Okay. That is the goal of workshops. The goal is to provide you with a knowledge base if you're coming in completely fresh and don't understand it, so you can at least get started and use the internet as your resource. So I would think that's absolutely what it's for. Hold on, I can't hear the question. Can we quiet down for just a second? Sorry, say it again. I think he's asking specifically about this event. So we run workshops during like hackathons. There's like a schedule that goes throughout the whole thing rather than through the whole club, which I think is what you're talking about. Any other questions while we're here? There is more after this, just a little bit. Okay. One more maybe? I probably don't know any more than you do. They contacted us a little bit, but you can ask the question anyway and we can figure it out. Yes, this is the one thing that I can't actually answer. So we checked in over the weekend. The transportation deadline for HackGT is already passed. That was at the end of August, which is a little insane to me because it's still a month and a half before the thing actually happens. So I'm not going to say that like it won't reopen, but at this point, the bus situation seems to be closed. You can absolutely still register for the hackathon, which I want to say is only in person. I don't know if they're providing a virtual option. It's in here somewhere.
You can control it.
HackGT in person only. So you'll have to find other transportation to get up there.
My brain turned off.
Nice.
I was like, damn, it's probably not.
All right. Questions in here, feeling inexperienced, can you participate? Absolutely. This is a perfect place to just kickstart. If you have something that you come in and you want to learn, this is a great place to do it. People are generally pretty friendly. Do we still have the opportunity to team up when we get to Shell Hacks? Yes, there will be a team building event on the first night there on Friday. And you'll be able to team up with people outside of UCF. So that'll be exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great call. I've worked with people from UF before. You absolutely do not have to work with UCF students.